The time is 1:15. Here is the news edited by Romesh Piris, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The first batch of COVID-19 vaccine to arrive tomorrow. A new variant of COVID-19 detected in Sri Lanka. Coronavirus recovery tally on the increase. The COPE instructs the Sri Lankan Bureau of Foreign Employment to look into the possibility of repatriating migrant workers affected by COVID-19 using Bureau funds. Sri Lanka reaffirms the deep cooperation ties to strengthen the relationship between the EU further. International news, coronavirus. AstraZeneca defends EU vaccine rollout plan. Sports news, cricket. Abu Dhabi T20 set to return from January 28th. Local news in detail. The co-cabinet spokesperson, Minister Keheli Rambukwala, says the government will look into and take necessary actions regarding any violations of human rights that have taken place during the country's civil war period. His remarks came during the press briefing to announce the cabinet decisions. He added the government is of the opinion that justice must be served of human rights violations have taken place. On the 21st of January, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa appointed a special three-member commission of inquiry to inquire into the report or take necessary actions on findings of the proceedings, commissions or committees on the alleged human rights violations, serious violations of international humanitarian law and other such offences in Sri Lanka. The commission, chaired by Supreme Court Judge A.H.M.D. Nawaz, consists of retired IGP Chandra Fernando and retired District Secretary Nimal Abesiri. The President directed the Commission to submit the final report with its investigations, inquiries and recommendations within a period of 6 months. The appointments came weeks after the 46th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council, which is scheduled to be held from 22nd February to 19th of March 2021. In view of the long-standing relationship between Sri Lanka and India and the cooperation between the two countries in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic over the past year, the government today confirmed that 500,000 Oxford AstraZeneca doses donated from India will arrive in Sri Lanka tomorrow. The chief advisor to the President and head of the Presidential Task Force for Sri Lanka's COVID-19 vaccination drive, Lalit Wiratunga, speaking at a media briefing pertaining to the country's vaccination drive, said the 500,000 Covishield doses will vaccinate 250,000 persons. Wiratunga added that doses will be accepted by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at 11 a.m. at the Bandar Naik International Airport from the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Gopal Bogle. Wiratunga said the doses will be first administered to around 150 frontline health workers engaged in COVID-19 mitigation efforts from Friday, the 29th of January. Meanwhile, Lalit Wiratunga says the government is expecting a donation of 300,000 doses of Chinese-manufactured Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine. The chief advisor to the President said discussions will be held in regard to the acquisition of the vaccine following a request made by the President to the Chinese government. He added talks are also being held with Russian President Vladimir Putin pertaining to the donation of the Sputnik COVID-19 vaccine. 755 coronavirus patients were identified in Sri Lanka yesterday, increasing the caseload to 59,922. 741 individuals among the group were linked to the Palliaguda COVID-19 cluster, while 7 persons from within prisons also tested positive for the virus. The number of coronavirus recoveries in Sri Lanka increased to 51,046 after 709 individuals recovered and were discharged during the past 24 hours. 8,588 individuals are being treated for COVID-19 at present, while 863 persons are under medical observations on suspicions that they contracted the virus. As per epidemiology unit tally, Sri Lanka has witnessed 288 COVID-19 related deaths so far. Meanwhile, the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreaks said 16,431 PCR tests have been conducted in Sri Lanka as of yesterday. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more news. The Committee on Public Enterprises has instructed the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to look into the possibility of repatriating migrant workers affected by COVID-19 using Bureau funds. This was revealed at the meeting held under the chairmanship of Professor Charita Hera to look into the special audit report on the current situation in the field of foreign employment. The committee inquired whether there were any legal impediments to the repatriation of Sri Lankan workers from various countries affected by the COVID-19 situation using Foreign Employment Bureau's current assets of 14 billion rupees. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment chairman said there was no obstacle to repatriate foreign workers registered with the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to Sri Lanka using their funds. A total of 34,721 workers who lost their jobs in the Middle East and the COVID-19 have already requested the Bureau of Foreign Employment to repatriate them. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the European Union and the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka held their 23rd meeting of the Joint Commission on Monday via video conference. This was the first joint commission under the new leadership in both the European Union and Sri Lanka. The Joint Commission meeting was held in a cordial and open atmosphere, and EU and Sri Lanka exchanged views on a wide array of subjects, reaffirming the deep cooperation ties and the willingness to strengthen the relationship between the people of EU and Sri Lanka further. The EU and Sri Lanka agreed on the importance of the enhancing trade ties and continuing to work closely together on human rights and reconciliation issues, which were on the agenda of the meeting. Sri Lanka Navy has arrested 3 suspects and seized 1,340 kilograms of dried turmeric and 80 kilograms of glyphosate along the Kalpitiya coast, prepared to be smuggled into the country. Navy seized the goods after searching a suspicious vessel at the Daluwa beach. The dried turmeric was found in 37 sacks, while 800 packets of the glyphosate containing 100 grams each were found. The suspects, residents of Kalpitiya between the age of 35 and 43, have been handed over to the Customs Preventive Office in Katunayaka. That ends local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The director of the Department of Immunology and Molecular Medicine of Sri Javadanapura University, Dr. Chandima Jeevandara, says a special mutation of SARS-CoV-2, the virus which causes COVID-19, has been detected in Sri Lanka. He made these remarks using a special statement, adding that the mutation of the virus is different from the strain previously identified in Sri Lanka. Dr. Jeevandara further said that it has similar characteristics to a strain that spread in England, Switzerland, Germany, Denmark and Iceland. That came to you on Main News Story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepha.
Moving on to Watchlight, the police spokesman Diyajajit Rohana says random rapid antigen tests would be carried out on those leaving the Western Province from tomorrow to January 31st at 11 exit points. The spokesman said that in addition, random antigen tests would be further conducted on public transportation, fish and vegetable stores and weekly fare centers. That ends Watchlight.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Coronavirus, AstraZeneca defends EU vaccine rollout plan. Antony Blinken sworn in as U.S. Secretary of State. Rescued Chinese miners feel reborn after harrowing ordeal. World News in detail. The head of AstraZeneca has defended its rollout of the coronavirus vaccine in the EU amid tensions with member states over delays in supply. Pascal Soriot, chief executive of the UK-Swedish multinational, said that his team was working 24/7 to fix the very many issues of the production of the vaccine. He also said the EU's late decision to sign contracts had given limited time to sort out hiccups with supply. Mr. Soriot further said a contract with the UK had been signed 3 months before the one with the EU, giving more time for glitches to be ironed out. Antony Blinken has become the new U.S. Secretary of State after winning approval by the Senate. The 58-year-old assumed the post in a swearing-in ceremony at the State Department yesterday. Earlier, the Senate endorsed President Joe Biden's nominee by a majority vote with 78 in favor of 22 against. During the former President Barack Obama's first term, Blinken was then Vice President Biden's National Security Advisor. He served as the Deputy Secretary of State during Obama's second term. 2 rescued Chinese miners have spoken of their ordeal while trapped underground for 2 weeks, with one saying he feels reborn. The men also described how they managed to make contact with the rescuers by knocking on pipes in their first comments since their dramatic rescue. They were among 11 people pulled out alive after a 10th January blast in their gold mine in China's Shandong province. Rescuers are still searching for one miner who remains unaccounted for. 9 others have been found dead, while another died last week in the mine after falling into a coma. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Coronavirus, AstraZeneca defends EU vaccine rollout plan. Antony Blinken sworn in as U.S. Secretary of State. Rescued Chinese miners feel reborn after harrowing ordeal. That came to you on World News.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Moving on to development news. The Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to set up an industrial estate using 100 acres of government land in Katana Divisional Secretariat. This project will facilitate the commencement of industries such as rubber, plastics, pharmaceutical and allied products, electrical and electronic appliances, packaging, value-added agro products and recycling industries with a focus on apparel and allied products. Ministry of Industries has confirmed that the project will generate an investment of around 3,000 million rupees and 11,500 job opportunities. That came to you on Development News. Moving on to sports news. Cricket Abu Dhabi T20 is set to return from January 28th. The fast-paced and increasingly popular Abu Dhabi T20 cricket tournament will commence from January 28 on February 6th of 2021. According to a press release, the tournament will welcome leading players from the world cricket to Abu Dhabi early in 2021 following the decision to reschedule the event as a result of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Once again, the tournament will be hosted in partnership with the Department of Cultural and Tourism, Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi Sports Council and Abu Dhabi Cricket with the sanction of the Emirates Cricket Board. That came to you on Sports News.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Being one of the largest exporters in the boat and shipbuilding industry in Sri Lanka, Dhanusha Marine Lanka Exports Private Limited has proudly contributed to Sri Lanka's exports, generating foreign exchange over $1 million per annum over the past few years, while creating more than 150 employment opportunities. The fourth boat building factory of Dhanusha Marine, located at Payagala, opened in September 2020. This 300 million rupees investment hopes to manufacture 17-meter to 24-meter fishing and multipurpose vessels for the local as well as international markets and also create more than 100 new employment opportunities. That came to you on Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The International Monetary Fund forecasts the global economy will grow 5.5% this year, an upturn from negative territory in 2020. In its latest World Economic Outlook report, the IMF revised the growth forecast for 2021 upward by 0.3 of a percentage point from October. The global economy shrank 3.5% in 2020 amid the coronavirus pandemic. The IMF expects China will lead the recovery with growth of 8.1%, up from 2.3% increase in 2020. The United States is projected to grow by 5.1%, the Eurozone 4.2% and Japan 3.1%. These economies shrank in 2020. That ends economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, let's take a look at the weather report. The Meteorological Department forecast showers or thunder showers at few places in the Sabaragama province and in Kol and Mathura districts in the afternoon, and few showers may occur in the eastern and Ua provinces. It further states that mainly fair weather will prevail over other parts of the island. That ends the weather report. To wrap up the afternoon news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The first batch of COVID-19 vaccine to arrive tomorrow. A new variant of COVID-19 detected in Sri Lanka. Coronavirus recovery tally on the increase. The COPE instructs the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to look into the possibility of repatriating migrant workers affected by COVID-19 using Bureau funds. Sri Lanka reaffirms the deep cooperation ties to strengthen the relationship with the EU further. International news. Coronavirus AstraZeneca defends EU vaccine rollout plan. Sports news. Cricket Abu Dhabi T20 is set to return from January 28th. With that, we conclude the afternoon news broadcast right here on Radio Sri Lanka. The time is 35 minutes past 1 o'clock. Till 2 o'clock, it's going to be lunchtime music.